I'm making this video for the person who knows that they need to start studying efficiently. They know they need to organize their life, and they know that they need to start their business, their passion project, the one that they've been on about for years. But they're too unfocused. Their attention all day is wasted on meaningless activities. They've watched hundreds of study videos, thousands of reels, and absolutely have done zilch about it. Don't improve their study techniques, don't work towards becoming a better student, and don't improve their mindset. Listen, I know you're smart. I know you have a semi-growth mindset, and I know you're capable. Yet you don't change the way that you're living. Why? It's because you're stuck in a rut, stuck in the same debilitating habit loops on repeat every day. So in this video, I'm gonna give you the 7 steps to hard reset. To take yourself from a scrolling, lazing around, watching YouTube when he gets home kind of guy, to a high achieving student and an excellent entrepreneur that's doing 12-hour days and loves the work that they're doing. And I know it works because I also hit a downward spiral last week, and all it took was these 7 steps. The disclaimer is that this is not easy. It's not some on and off switch. You need to already be motivated to get stuff done. You need to already have a vision for yourself, because if you don't, then this video isn't for you, sorry. This is for the people that can literally close their eyes and see themselves as a high-performing student, a top entrepreneur, but they've been stuck in a mindless rut for a few weeks or maybe their whole life, and they need to get out of it. Not just, yeah, it'd be cool to improve my routine, do better in the day, you know? They need to. It's like an inescapable itch. The number one thing you need to understand is routine. If we don't have structure, then we have nothing. And if you want to but can't get into a good routine, it's not because you're not ambitious or not hardworking, because newsflash, you're here. You actually want to create a good routine for yourself. You're not gonna be some unmotivated loser. The entire last week that went by, I was slacking. Slow, sluggish, unfocused work. On the surface, everything is incredible. This business is growing, videos are doing really well, opportunities left, right, center. I did a presentation on my dissertation the other day. Praise to God, I smashed it. Legit, everyone in the room, the actual examiners themselves were complimenting my public speaking skills. I got my exam results. Again, alhamdulillah, excellent. All of this, while behind closed doors, I was barely getting anything done. Feeling like awful. Why? Because I lost momentum. I started to focus on absolutely everything else but the few things that actually mattered, and then genuinely felt like the most down I felt in a long time. Yes, it had only been a few days of that, but one thing was clear. Something had to change. I was in a downward spiral and I had to get out of it. The first mistake I made was not leaving my house to actually do work during that lazy period. Because when I'm home, I know that I have zero self-control, zero focus. Legit, I sit down to work and in 1 second, I automatically find myself scrolling. Like I've actually sat down to work, but it's like I'm being possessed. And then I'm on YouTube all of a sudden. It's because of all of these messed up habit circuits that we've created, and I 100% know that you have them too. So the first action point is, as soon as you have to start doing independent work, leave the house, go to a coffee shop, go to the library ASAP. A public place where you're much less likely to just randomly waste time. Because there's people around you. Literally just go there and think of yourself as the center of the world. After a few minutes of this play acting, feeling like you're the main character vibe, after a few minutes you'll start to do focused work because you have accountability around you. I wasted Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then on Saturday I went to a new coffee shop, sat there for 6 hours and got more work done in that short amount of time than I had the entire week. When you don't have natural structure built into your day, like school, uni, work, you need to force yourself to have structure. No one's late when they have school, no one's late when they have a job, when they have a responsibility. We're just lazy at home when there's no accountability. So give yourself a reason to leave the house, to go get work done somewhere where you can condition yourself to actually just get started and stay focused. If you want drastic change, then change the stuff around you and watch your routine transform. There's only 2 reasons that you aren't the best of the best already. A, you're a dumbo who doesn't know how to do stuff, who doesn't know how to learn efficiently, doesn't know how to get started with the right things, so you need to go out and learn. Or B, you're a baby because you don't know how to commit to the right techniques. You jump from study tip to study tip, idea to idea, consuming way too much content, not taking action, not sticking with anything. Like a confused child chasing every new shiny toy in the shop. If you want to get to that top of the top level, if you want to get out of this rut you're in, there is only one way, and that is focusing on very few things in your life. Very select. Take me as an example. People think that I do the most. People think that I do this and this and this because they only see the accomplishment, the surface layer. But in reality, I promise you, I don't. I do far far less than most. I have a system for studying for exams, I have a system for handling med school, and I have a system for creating these videos and running this business. Everything else in my life is ruthlessly subtracted. No extra noise, no useless projects, no meeting people randomly. All of it is subtracted. And that is the word I want you to remember. Subtract. Especially when you're in this endless rut, you're overstimulated, you don't know where to start. Let me show you exactly where you should start. Whenever I need to recalibrate, I sit down to remind myself of the 2 or maximum 3 milestones that I want to be working on. The big missions that I'm aiming towards. And if you're a motivated, smart person, then you already know what your milestones are in your heart, or at least vaguely. So all you need to do right now for this action point, for this step, is number 1, choose your 2 milestones. And number 2, write down in your notes app what they are, how much work you need to do for them per week, and how long is it gonna take overall. Be specific with it. This is what I did last week. On the way to the coffee shop, on that 13-14 minute walk, this is what I did. Let me actually read you one of mine. This is what it is. Grow YouTube channel sub count to 100k and have an X dollar profitable business in 1 year's time. Bullet point 1, creating 4+ extremely helpful videos per month. Helpful in bold. Bullet point 2, create a system for short form Instagram and community content. Bullet point 3, start an email list. Bullet point 4, launch a practical, highly valuable, life-changing product for students. Bullet point 5, you get the point. It took me 13 minutes on my walk to think about it and do it. And immediately, my sense of clarity, my purpose was solidified again. I know that I'm nowhere near that milestone, but I'm working on it. I've planned a specific roadmap for me to get there, and that is what you need to do. You've now reset a bit, you've left the environment where your habit loops rule over you, so you now need to spend the next 30 minutes, that's all it is, to do those 2 things that I mentioned. Write down what they are and build a roadmap for you to get there. All this will do is simplify all the random crap in your head that you think you need to do and all these things that you and ideas you have to 2 simple milestones. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just a long-term, 2 long-term goals with a roadmap to get there. It's inspiring. It gives you direction, and more than anything, it focuses your monkey brain on what you want. But I'm going on and on about it because it needs to be on paper, it needs to be on notes app, it can't just be in your head. Action number 3 is to now sit down and do 2 tasks. This can be an hour of questions or learning or skimming or making a mind map about a topic, whatever it is. For me, the second I sat down on the coffee shop, I opened up my laptop and I planned the video that you guys saw last week. I did that for 2 hours. Then I chose cardiology, USMLE topics, and I did those questions for another 3-4 hours. But what I want you to do, and I know this is going to sound cringy, but while you do those 2 tasks, is I really want you to recreate the fun in your work. Because doing the same work tasks, doing it every day again and again, getting into that routine, it's impossible if you can't make the work inspiring, stimulating, energizing for yourself. Whatever subject it is, whatever studying work task you have, to get out of this rut, to get in the stride of working long days again, your work cannot be a drag. And especially now, when you're starting out your work, you need momentum. Action number 2 should have inspired you at least. They're your goals, they're your milestones. But even while you're working right now, think about the importance of this, etc. Think about why you're learning it, why you're doing this. I don't care if you're doing math homework, legit, make it an event. Go learn deeply into what calculus is, how it affects the world, how it's helping the world. Realize that you learning about osteoporosis isn't just, oh, this is a bone disease, bro. It's so boring. Because if you do that, your brain is not going to be engaged. If you think about it as one of the biggest issues in the general population right now, affecting over half the women more over 50. Wait, what? Why is it affecting over half the women that are above 50? My point is, think about it with curiosity. Think about how learning this one condition can save the lives of hundreds of people and old people that you come by when you're a doctor. Think about me creating this video when I was writing that script, when I'm filming right now. If I could just think about it like, yeah, I'm just making this video, I'll upload it onto YouTube, it'll help people, whatever. But I'm choosing to think about who I'm speaking to. I'm choosing to think how me saying these words, me thinking these thoughts, giving whatever advice I have, whatever thoughts I have, whatever methods I have, can change the trajectory of someone's life. Potentially, this is the point that their upward spiral could begin. And when you think about the impact, when you think about whatever you're doing as a service, it changes the game. So if you are in the position of being a high achiever, if you are someone that has the freedom, the drive, the motivation to make stuff happen, then you don't understand how grateful you should be when comparing to the rest of the world. So do not just tell me, oh, I can't be asked, I can't be bothered to do my homework, do this, do that. Screw that loser beta mindset right off. yourself. Learn to make the work that you're doing feel like an event. Romanticize it if you want. Put a playlist on, like a focused one. Get a nice drink. Feel lucky, feel grateful, feel excited that you're working towards something that you want, that you might be helping someone in the future. And also do the 2 tasks that we're doing just to get started. Now comes action number 4. We'll speed up a bit. You're a bit more energized now. You've got some work done. You've had some confidence. You've gained some momentum. Now for the next few actions, we plan the work that we're going to do for the next week and get our life organized. So what I want you to do right now is to grab your phone, open up that notes app, and write down a list of things that you want to get done in the upcoming week. This for me includes everything I need to do for med school, YouTube, any miscellaneous tasks I have. Everything is on that weekly list. Be smart with it. Logically include only what you can realistically get done. Think realistically about the time that you have and only include the tasks that you know you can potentially get done this week. That's it. This isn't some complicated action. Just pause the video right now and take 3 minutes and just do it. Do it now. Just make this weekly list. Action number 5. Again, this is something that everyone that I know struggles with. Open up Google Calendar right now. Don't think, oh, I don't like using a calendar. Boo-hoo. Just do it. Number 1, add any classes or mandatory things you have on just this week. Just add those things onto the calendar, please. A good idea is to actually sync your school or university calendars on Google Calendar as well. For me, I started on my new placement this week, so I added on the mandatory stuff for that. And number 2, throw a few important tasks from your weekly list onto the calendar. And the reason I'm using the word throw is because now is not the time to perfectly plan. Literally just grab some tasks and put them on the calendar on the days that you think you'll probably do it. Don't plan the time and the amount of hours it'll take, where it'll go. Just put them as literally tasks on the calendar. I want to film on this day, so I added in scripting for this video in the 2 days before. I got a clinic in a rheumatology placement this day, so I'll probably want to do some 2 hours or so of reading of the conditions the day before. And then I just keep doing that a bit more, and that's it. People have this expectation that if you use a calendar, it has to be perfectly planned out and executed and followed in every single way. And I'll just never be able to do that, man. I'll never be able to plan my life out with a calendar. But that's because you're treating it like your boss looking over you. Whereas it's simply a guide for what you just should be doing. It's just telling you that maybe just do this. If you're doing nothing right now, if you're wasting your time, just do this right now. So for now, just plan the week by simply throwing tasks on there. Again, just please do it now. It's not hard. Pause the video and it'll take you less than a minute to throw tasks on your calendar. Now, before you go to bed, action number 6 is to plan tomorrow's day out, all the tasks you need to get done properly. Just for tomorrow. Because you might be in a productive state right now because you're motivated, you've just had like your first good day of work, maybe the first in a very long time. But as soon as you wake up, as soon as you need to start just doing independent work the next day, mark my words, you will fall back into the same patterns, the same habits. Because these habits are stuck in our head, they've not gone anywhere. If you come back to your room, you're gonna get up and start scrolling or start doing something else or wasting your time in whatever way you were wasting time before. And to supersede that even a little bit, if you can supersede that and push past that, the way you do it is by planning all the tasks that you have to get done the next day. And the easiest way that you can now do that is by literally going on tomorrow's column for the calendar, tomorrow's day in the calendar, and then spend a few minutes to just plan every hour out, plan every gap in that day, be realistic with what you can get done. Because if you just are randomly going through the day not knowing what you're doing, you're gonna be screwed. And if you did the previous step, you already have some tasks on the calendar, then it shouldn't be hard. You just need to stretch those tasks out to the appropriate times. And this is a good habit that you now do every night before your next day. Do it for just this week. See how that goes. All this is doing is giving you direction so that when you fall back into bad habits or go on your phone, waste time doing random stuff, you have at least this bell in your head going like, oh my, or have this, at least a notification come up from your calendar going like, do this. You should be probably working on this. You planned it for yourself a day ago. Probably do it. You'll be motivated to do it anyways. You planned it a day ago. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, I barely ever follow my calendar perfectly, but it's just a good guide for me to know I planned this for myself. This needs to get done. This should probably get done. This is when this is due, so I probably should start working on it. It's just good, smart organization for yourself. Before we talk about the last action, if you followed along, you've legit gone from 100% unfocused days, wasting time doing nothing practically, to having your first full productive working day where you've removed yourself from the environment where you're getting distracted. You've aligned your work with the big milestones that you're aiming towards. Finally, organize yourself and have direction for this full week. And you know exactly hour by hour what you're doing tomorrow. Now, all this needs to become is a good routine that you stick to. What I really want to explain and emphasize on though, and I've tried everything to make routines stick and make them sustainable, and the only times that they've done that, only times that you will make this routine stick for yourself, where you get this amount of work done, where you do this, is if you find fun and meaning in that work. I'm saying it again, and I am going to create a full guide on this in the next few weeks. I've been saying for months, but I'm finally just going to do it. But this is a non-negotiable, because most work that takes you to that top 1% student, the best entrepreneur, the highest achiever, and achieving any dreams that you have, the work that isn't just the minimum deadlines, doesn't have any accountability to it. You can basically do it whenever you want. It's independently driven, and that is why it's hard. That is why no one does it. That is why, to get in the flow of doing 10-hour, 12-hour work days every day, especially when you don't have exams and deadlines looming over your head, it's impossible if you don't know how to enjoy and find satisfaction in the work that you're doing. And because I've found ways to find the fun, to enjoy it and find the satisfaction even when I don't want to do the work, because I did all of that work over the years with my mindset, with the practical techniques, with everything, and because I've worked so hard to learn to be stupidly optimistic and enjoy the work in every way possible, is the only reason that this channel is still running, is the only reason that I got good at effective learning, is the only reason that I am where I am. It's being stupidly happy and optimistic and excited about the stuff that you're doing, because most of the time you are the person that chose to do it. Anyways, the final step to getting out of the rut and creating a really high level good routine for yourself that will be sustainable is to realize that yes, you are optimizing for 2 or 3 milestones every single day, but the fact is that you also have to satisfy the minimums in your life. Now, what are these minimums? For me, it's very easy. I can say that prayers, family, exercise, sleep, like those are the key minimums in my life that I want to satisfy every day, every week. The final action for you is listing them out for yourself, and they probably will be similar to mine, because this is the stuff that will keep your brain sharp, it will keep your heart fulfilled, and it will give you perspective every day. If you go without fulfilling the minimums, without getting enough sleep, without the diet, the exercise, the family, without keeping religion and everything important in your life into account, your work will get messed up eventually. You can't just be working only and doing only that long term. It'll mess up your mindset, and not fulfilling the minimums in the first place probably what made you end up here in the first place in your rut. And yes, for a long time, the way I've lived is I have my 2 or 3 milestones that I'm optimizing for every day, that probably I'm working crazy hard for, but then there's these minimums that I'm satisfying every day, or trying my best to satisfy, because that directly correlates with how much I'll get done, how much I can sustain what I'm doing. So incorporate them in your routine, possibly put them on your calendar, but I sometimes don't, I sometimes do. It should just be some minimums in your head that you want to fulfill as well. When I got in a bit of a rut last week, these 7 actions are honestly word for word what I did, and it's how I got out of that rut pretty quickly, and now I'm back in stride. I made this video for transparency, to show you that even me at the stage where I am, I can also fall off. And what I've said so far is the practical example of what I did, what I thought, to get my head back aligned and get myself on the right track again, to get myself on the good routine again, that will help me achieve everything I want to, and will help you too. And if you've always been in a rut, if you've always just been someone that's wanting to achieve so much but not been able to, then these steps will work for you as well. This is how you start. The more you share your journey, talk to me in the comments, share the journey of how you are living and how you're improving, and continuously use this as a diary, the more you will achieve, and you'll be able to achieve more than you've ever imagined. I wish you the best of luck, and I really hope that you've actually followed along with the steps in this video. We've built a really strong community on this channel, and it feels like we're all on this journey together, facing the same issues week after week. Anyways, let me know what your struggles are in the comments below. I will try to answer everyone. I'll try to create videos on the issues that you talk about. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, do all the usual stuff, spam the comments, and I will see you in the next one.